Please welcome our Mistress of Ceremonies, Executive Director of Fiction Affairs for Author Services, the literary agency of L. Ron Hubbard, Ms. Gunhild Jacobs.
Thank you very much. On behalf of everyone at Author Services, Galaxy Press, the publisher of the Writers of the Future anthology, and the esteemed judges, let me welcome each and every one of you as we honor this year's winners of the Writers and Illustrators of the Future contest. We are here tonight to introduce a new generation of artists to the world, many of whom will follow in the footsteps of our past winners and go on to have professional and highly successful careers. As for the year in review, our 2010 Gold Prize Illustrator winner, Seth Rowenwood's cover for Silver Linings, My Life Before and After Challenger 7, made it aboard the final space shuttle flight to the International Space Station. Last year's Illustrators of the Future winner, Megan Muriel, published her first book, The Land of Oct, and may I add that she returned this year as a winner of the Writers' Contest. 2001 Illustrator winner Dwayne Harris just published an original graphic novel as both writer and illustrator, while Sean Tan, 1991 Illustrator winner, Academy Award winner, and now a contest judge, won a Hugo for Best Professional Artist. On the writer's side, Patty Jensen sold her 24-hour workshop story from last year to Analog, and Jason Stoddard sold 2 books, Winning Mars and Mecha Core. Stephen Saville sold Monster Town to Sony Entertainment, and his thriller novel, Silver, was #2 on the Amazon UK bestseller list. The list of 2011 Nebula Award nominees had 7 Writers of the Future alumni listed: Carolyn Eves Gilman, Ken Liu, Brad R. Torgerson, Tom Crosshill, Aliette de Bodard, and David W. Goldman, with Eric James Stone bringing home the Nebula Award. The list of Hugo Award nominees includes 4 past writer winners, J. Kathleen Chaney, Eric James Stone, Aliette de Bodard, and Brad R. Torgerson, with Brad also nominated for the Campbell Award. Tom Crosshill was also nominated for the Latvian Annual Literary Award, with Nnedi Okorafor nominated for the Andrew Norton Award, the Hugo Award, and won the World Fantasy Award for Best Novel with Who Fears Death. Finally, and only to cap a year of tremendous success for both contests and their winners, 2012 also completes the centennial year of celebrations for the founder of the contest, L. Ron Hubbard. And that celebration saw the monumental release of the complete biographical encyclopedia, the L. Ron Hubbard series. Drawn from his own archival collection, this is Ron's life as he himself saw it. With each volume of the series focusing upon a separate field of endeavor, here are the compelling facts, figures, anecdotes, and photographs from the life of a man who lived at least 20 lives in the space of one. In the final analysis, L. Ron Hubbard was, as he himself stated, first and foremost a writer with a lifelong vision and passion for the arts. And so it is appropriate that tonight's event is being held here at the Ebell Theatre that for more than a century has served as both a refuge for artists and as a beacon of inspiration. I would like to first acknowledge several distinguished guests who are joining us as presenters. Please hold your applause until all are announced. Anna East Eden is an award-nominated actress who has appeared in 2.5 Men, Bones, and Days of Our Lives. Phil Proctor is an original member of the thrice Grammy-nominated and nationally honored Firesign Theatre and can be heard and seen in countless productions including Rugrats, Finding Nemo, and Monsters, Inc. Karen Black has starred in over 100 films, has won 2 Golden Globes, has been nominated for a 3rd Golden Globe, a Grammy, and an Academy Award. Jim Meskimen has appeared in Apollo 13, Frost Nixon, and numerous other projects, in addition to our award-winning audiobooks from Galaxy Audio. Marisol Nichols starred in Fox Television's 24 and currently stars in ABC's new hit dramedy, G.C.B. Martin Kove starred in the original Karate Kid films, in addition to over 100 films from Rambo 2 to Wyatt Earp. Nancy Cartwright is a film and television actress and voice artist best known as the voice of Bart Simpson on television's longest-running scripted show, The Simpsons. Kristin Bauer van Straten, star of HBO's True Blood. Let's give them all a warm welcome. Our blue ribbon panel of judges is the bedrock of these awards. Some of the most notable creators in their fields generously give their time to select the very best among the many entries. These talented professionals demonstrate the rich past and present of speculative fiction and help to create the next generation of writers and artists. Please hold your applause until all are announced. Kevin J. Anderson is an international best-selling author of more than 100 books, as well as a comic writer, anthology editor, record, and film producer. Gregory Benford has won 4 Hugo Awards and 12 Nebula Award nominations. Robert Castillo, an Illustrators of the Future winner from 2007, is an award-winning filmmaker, a director, animator, illustrator, and storyboard artist. Eric Flint, a former contest winner from 1993, has written over 40 novels, both solo and in collaboration, and is founder and editor of Jim Baen's Universe online magazine. Dr. Laura Brodian-Fries is an award-winning artist, radio host, voiceover artist, and longtime Illustrators of the Future judge. Stephen Hickman, winner of the Hugo and 6 Chesley Awards, has published over 450 book covers and also created a series of science fiction postage stamps for the United States Postal Service. Nina Kiriki Hoffman, a 1985 contest winner, is the winner of the Nebula and Bram Stoker Awards and this year's co-instructor for our annual Writers' Workshop. Dr. Jodi Kondo is a science fiction author and editor, holder of NASA's Achievement Medal and the Isaac Asimov Memorial. Ron Lindahn, an award-winning artist, graphic designer, filmmaker, photographer, and illustrator, is the coordinating judge for the Illustrators of the Future contest. Val Lecky-Lindan was nominated twice for the Hugo, Chesley, Frank R. Paul, and Jack Gaughan Awards. She has been an Illustrators of the Future judge since the inception of the contest. Stéphane Martinière, an internationally acclaimed science fiction and fantasy artist, known for working in every entertainment field, including feature films such as Star Wars, Tron Legacy, and Star Trek, as well as animation, video games, theme parks, editorial, and book covers. Rebecca Mesta is co-author of the New York Times best-selling Star Wars Young Jedi Knight series, as well as the Star Challengers books. Cliff Nielsen is one of the nation's premier book cover artists, including the Chronicles of Narnia, X-Files Ruins, and the Star Wars New Jedi Order series. Larry Niven is the winner of every major science fiction award, the legendary creator of Ringworld and the Known Space series. Dr. Jerry Purnell is a multiple award-winning best-selling writer and popular columnist. With his co-author, Larry Niven, he wrote such classics as The Moat in God's Eye and Lucifer's Hammer. Tim Powers is a Philip K. Dick and World Fantasy Award winner, author of the original novel for the latest Pirates of the Caribbean film, On Stranger Tides, and our lead workshop instructor for the Writers of the Future. Sergei Poyakov was one of our own grand prize winners for the Illustrators of the Future contest in 1991. He has gone on to have his fine art displayed in museums and galleries throughout Europe and the United States. Mike Resnick is the genre's all-time leading award winner for short fiction. He is the author of 62 novels and over 250 short stories and has edited more than 40 anthologies. Robert J. Sawyer has been called the Dean of Canadian Science Fiction. He has won every major science fiction award, and one of his novels was the basis for the ABC TV series Flash Forward. Sean Williams, a 1993 contest winner, has been called the premier Australian speculative fiction writer of the age. His award-winning output includes 35 novels for readers of all ages and 80 short stories. Dave Wolverton is a former contest grand prize winner from 1987. He's published 50 novels and is a New York Times best-selling author. Judges, thank you for contributing to the discovery of the next generation of visionary storytellers and illustrators. I say this every year, and I will say it again, you are the true treasure of these contests. Year by year, you continue to inspire future generations, not only with your art, not only by the expanse of your vision, but with the greatness of your hearts. Please join us in acknowledging all of our judges. In addition to these very fine judges, we have two accomplished individuals who have joined this elite group in 2012. For the Illustrators of the Future contest, we are honored to welcome Professor Gary Meyer. Gary has been with us since 1986 when he did the cover art for Writers of the Future Volume 2, and over the years, his art has graced 3 of our annual anthologies. Gary has long worked in Hollywood doing production and design work for such studios as Disney, Universal, and MGM. You've seen his work in movies like Star Trek, Star Wars, 2010, and The Thing. As an instructor at the prestigious Art Center College of Design, he has won many awards, including being the second person ever to be named as Master of the College. And for the Writers of the Future, we are honored to welcome Todd McCaffrey. Todd has authored more than a dozen novels and many short stories, including new works in the ever-popular Pern series created by his mother, Anne McCaffrey. Thus, Todd is a rare second-generation judge for the Writers of the Future. Please extend your warmest welcome to Gary Meyer and Todd McCaffrey. Sadly, from time to time, we also see a judge pass away, and we are sorry to announce the loss of one we hold very dear. In a world of dull stones, Anne McCaffrey was a shining gem. With more than 60 novels to her credit, she was a winner of the Hugo and Nebula Awards, and in 2004, she was honored with the L. Ron Hubbard Lifetime Achievement Award for her contribution to the arts. Then in 2005, she was chosen as the 22nd Grandmaster for the Science Fiction Writers of America. She broke new ground for the genre when her novel, The White Dragon, became one of the first science fiction novels ever to appear on the New York Times bestseller list. For years, she served as an inspiration to new writers, often hosting workshops. Anne's generosity lives on in the works of those writers you see here. Thank you, Anne, and goodbye. Earth is better for your having lived. We will miss you, but in the legacy you left behind and the mantle you passed, you will always be with us. L. Ron Hubbard founded the Writers of the Future contest in 1983 to help discover and nurture new writers. From the very first, the mission of the contest was clear: to not only inspire authors, but to help them get well on the path to becoming professionals. In the past decade, the avenues of communication have broadened, making it easier for authors to publish and for illustrators to display their own work. The truth is, however, that it is becoming increasingly hard for a new author or illustrator to rise above the clamor and gain the recognition that they deserve. For L. Ron Hubbard, encouragement of the arts and care for the novice writer was a continuing and unfailing habit throughout his life, and so it was the contests were established. He once wrote, and I quote, "Capturing my own dreams in words, print, or music, and then seeing them live is the highest kind of excitement." Ron shared his excitement with others. As a young author, he not only gained acclaim as a headliner in popular magazines of his day, but shared his knowledge of and the love for the craft through a series of articles and essays for budding authors. At the age of 24, he was elected president of the New York chapter of the American Fiction Guild, the youngest in its history. During his tenure, he actively sought to bring novice writers into the Guild and help facilitate their entry into the ranks of professionals. Ron lectured on the writing craft and experience at schools like Harvard and George Washington University, and the articles that he published continue to be used widely even today and form the basis for the highly esteemed Writers of the Future workshops. Later, in 1940, during a special exploratory voyage to Alaska under the aegis of the U.S. Navy and the flag of the famed Explorers Club, Ron found himself in harsh weather on an extended layover in Ketchikan, Alaska. While there, he initiated the Golden Pen Award writing contest, which he judged and put up prices at his own expense. Obviously, Ron's experience and generosity served as a prelude to the establishment of the Writers of the Future contest, and he was soon joined in this endeavor by many of the greatest luminaries in the field, people like Frank Herbert, Theodore Sturgeon, Andrew Norton, Larry Niven, and Jerry Purnell. Then in 1988, a roster of similar luminaries in the field of art joined to help discover and inspire young artists through the Illustrators of the Future contest, such as Will Eisner, Frank Kelly Freese, Jack Kirby, Paul Lear, and Frank Facetta. These programs were created in an effort to help fulfill human potential, to help raise the consciousness of the world as a whole, to help expand our vision. Ron was keenly aware of what this type of effort could lead to. He explained, "The golden age of science fiction that began with Campbell and Astounding Science Fiction gathered enough public interest and readership to help push man into space. As one of the crew of writers that helped start man to the stars, I'm very proud of also being known as a science fiction writer. You have satellites out there, man has walked on the moon, you have probes going to the planets, don't you? Somebody had to dream the dream, and a lot of somebodies, like those great writers of the Golden Age and later, had to get an awful lot of people interested in it to make it true." So much has been done, but as writer, artist, humanitarian, and philosopher, Ron recognized that much more needs to be accomplished. He saw the need for something more than a renaissance, a rebirth of culture. He envisioned a neo-naissance, a new birth to culture. In the world of the arts, some believe that we serve man best by showing the world as it is. Others seek to enlarge our vision. When we recognize our potential, it sets us free. This is a quest and a journey we have all embarked upon and which we continue daily. Please join us for a short film in which L. Ron Hubbard discussed with students how we, through our art, can envision a bold future rife with possibilities. And here it is.
You ever watch these fashions suddenly arise? Well, they have to be started with great art, believe me. It takes a lot of art to start a fashion. Well, I'm not trying to tell you that the creative artist is going to eat up the society. It's just that he has. It might be amusing to you. Now, when I say this impulse of great art, it might be amusing to you to know what they said at the time started the Renaissance. The great resurgence of art, poetry in Italy. For some 14 centuries, more or less, the art that was Rome had either, at the first part of that, had been decaying, and for many, many centuries it had been entirely hidden, entirely gone. It was the custom in this day and age of 1400 to be extremely unwashed, and one announced his presence with body odor. The art form of the day was almost absent. There practically was none. And somebody in Rome was excavating for some purpose or another and came upon a tomb, the tomb of Claudius's sister, and dug up this tomb and found this beautiful sarcophagus and found this beautiful girl perfectly preserved in all of the artistic fashion and style of the year zero. This beautiful gold-worked sarcophagus, the tomb itself was all perfectly intact. and in the complete glory of the golden age of the Roman Empire. And the people of Rome swarmed down to this place to take a look at this. And the people who were passing themselves off as artists of that day took a look at this sarcophagus, at this jewelry, and they said, "Don't tell me man can get this good." And a renaissance resulted. Just as easy as that. That is the story they told at the time of how the Renaissance started. All of a sudden, some art, some beauty, something new, something attainable, something that was quite real, appeared in the society, and we got a very definite change. Great art. We actually have to depend to some degree upon these accidental or sudden appearances of beautiful things to pick man up and set him up on the high road and get him walking again. Because believe me, he has to be gotten walking again. Periodically, he keeps falling on his face and somebody has to keep picking him up and wiping off the mud and saying, "Look, skin." And the fellow says, "What do you know? Skin." I thought it was mud all the way down. Yeah, we've hit another one of those periods. And maybe the people right here are the ones that can postulate enough beauty or energy or future for him to pick him up out of the mud again and send him on his way. And maybe not. But frankly, if we don't, I don't know anybody on earth elsewise who will.